Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, coming to you live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we do every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our intro music is provided from the Podshow PodSafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com. Also, feel free to email your topics for discussion, suggestions, and comments to incoherentramblings@live.com.
This is Christopher.
This is Eric.
It is May the 27th, 2010, and we are broadcasting live from the internationally famous C&E Studios. How are you, Eric?
Oh, fantastic.
Live from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
How is it outside? Kind of quarantine. Is it warm?
A little warm.
Okay.
Is our mascot?
Yep, the show's official mascot, Bella, coming in. I think she has just got back from a bathroom break, and now maybe she's going to have some supper. So she's excited. So, is it warm outside?
It has been warm.
I've been inside since, well, I had a doctor's appointment Monday and a dentist appointment Tuesday. The last time I was outside was Tuesday. So,
it's healthy and disabled.
Yes, crippled.
Hermit,
yes. Confined to the bowels of the basement.
Forced to get sponge baths from the beautiful water.
Yes, I know. It's horrible.
What the hell? Being waited on hands and foot.
I know. It's been really rough.
I want to see if doctors know.
So, slowly recuperating. What, slower than I want to be?
Maybe in a month or less,
mm-hmm.
or two.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it'll take you to fully recover. Maybe you will have a story. Be listed as a good news story on Good News Network.
Maybe so. Well, but our international fame does tend to, it does tend to have us in the tabloids.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the, legitimate news too. No offense to the tabloid people. We'll see. I may make it there. You're right. So, you're busy. Got a couple closings going, so that's good news, right?
Yeah. I tell you, the changes they've made though in the real estate industry is just making it so hard to get homes closed.
Right.
I had 2 closings scheduled for tomorrow. One of them is definitely not happening.
Mm-hmm.
It may fall through altogether, which means the house that the other guy's buying, of course, it doesn't fall through.
Right.
The domino effect going on. And the problem is these regulations that the banks or the government put in place to try and protect the consumer is hurting them more than it's helping.
Right. Well, that's, why we don't need the government.
The problem that we have with the real estate, with the banks, as far as the mortgage industry, wasn't the lack of regulation in regards to loan processing. It was in making loans to people who should not have gotten a loan to begin with, right, by making it so that buyers could get into homes with no skin in the game.
Right.
No down payments and blah blah blah, making it so that people with low credit scores and no down payment can get into a house. That's of course it's a recipe for disaster.
Especially when you got someone in a house that, based on their income, total income, maybe, and I'm just making up numbers, but let's say they could afford a $100,000 house, and they're in a $300,000 house.
Right.
So their monthly payment is going to be, roughly 3 times what they could afford.
Right.
That, like you said, that's a recipe for disaster. Right. It really is.
Here, in the situation that's caused problems in my other closing is they've made it so that to, I guess, protect the consumer from banks who are having making loans, I guess, consorting with appraisers to value the property for more than it's actually worth. Now banks can't pick their own appraisals, and they've totally changed how banks pick appraisers and et cetera. Mm-hmm. Well, appraisers, to get as much business as they can, now say that they're supposed to list what zip codes they can do appraisals in. They're qualified to do appraisals in. They list every zip code. Mm-hmm. That way they can get appraisals in anywhere. Mm-hmm. And we've got appraisers coming up from Wilmington and from all over the place to Greensboro to appraisals when they have no clue about the area they're doing appraisals in.
Right.
You know, I've been in business for 11 years, and it's a pretty decent time. I've got a pretty good feel for what a value of a house is. And anyway, the appraisal came in for $3,800 less than what I sold it for.
Right.
The problem is, and not that that's never happened to me before, you know, in 11 years, I've had it happen 2 or 3 times. But in this case, I didn't find out that there was a problem with the value until the day before closing.
Wow.
When the appraisal was performed over a month ago. That's a problem.
That's unacceptable.
We have sellers that have already moved out of the house, buyers who are already packed up in trucks ready to move in when this type of mistake is caught.
Right.
That's an issue. But I'll make it work.
Find a way.
I'll find a way.
Faint heart. Well, happy birthday to a friend of the show.
Yes.
David.
Did you join us for the,
oh, no, that's right.
Yeah, that was
we were going to, because we're, you know, all such good, close friends, we were going, is that the right connection?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know it was. No, you need a mini USB. A micro USB.
Okay, I have one right here. Sorry, I was making a little sidetrack.
You know, as close friends, we decided that we would, you know, maybe get together with him for his birthday. Offer to take him out to dinner or something like that. And so I took it upon myself to try to figure that out, make it happen. And, well, he already has plans and he doesn't want to be with his friend. So
I wouldn't say he didn't want to be with us.
I would.
He would rather be with someone else, and I guess maybe he doesn't want us around. I don't know.
Right. I would say he doesn't want to be with us. Where else he would be?
He's looking for some birthday love.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, happy birthday to David. Even though we're not able to wish him so in person.
I saw it today.
Did you? Oh, okay.
I gave him a card in person.
Okay. Well, we mailed our card to him. Because, you know, it feels like there's a wall between us. I generally like to give my birthday cards to my close friends and mail it to the people I don't like. This is the position he's placed me in.
By the way, you threw us postage on my last mail. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I didn't. Seriously?
No, I'm kidding. I don't think you mailed it. I was trying to be funny.
So happy birthday to David. He's going to Firebirds. Hope he has a good dinner with all this.
I've never been there. Let's go tonight.
You know what? I think we should take our after show to Winston. We do it. You know, we have fans in the Winston area. So perhaps we could take it to Winston and we could have our after party there and they could meet us there. And we would just look who we would happen upon.
Sure. Crash the birthday party. It was quite the batch.
Oh, you guys are here? What are you doing here? Who would have thought?
What is that comedian that says you have 2 groups of friends, and when you're introducing one group to their group, he's like,
Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, that's right.
You know, these guys don't know I drink. And also, don't be thrown by the British accent. Maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe.
Maybe the person we met was a fill-in. Maybe we haven't met the real one. Conspiracy. Well, is there any good news in this world?
I don't think I brought any good news. Yeah, I do. I have one good news story.
I'm just worried about helping the homeless get back on their feet. Well, what if they, were W amputees? I don't know if they would be able to help them. Anyhow, that's something to look forward to. amputee homeless people.
I have 4 stories. I think we may have talked about one of them last week. Let's talk slow.
Well, we could. We both said we had rants. We could always get on a rant.
I was going to have now.
Oh, I can always come up. I can make up. I can fabricate a rant.
Okay, that's that one kind of. But I was ready.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Well, you know, our illustrious president, the people he assembled to rewrite all these mortgage rules and laws and everything, says, now are you ready? If you're not sitting down, you need to. Let's say that you're married, and then let's say there's a married couple, and one of the parties in that marriage decides they want to leave, unbeknownst to the other party, and both people's name were on the mortgage, and you tried to refinance under this new, you've got good credit, you deserve a better rate plan that he came up with. You can't. Not unless both names are on the mortgage. Well, if one person has left and you're divorced, why would you want their name on the mortgage, and why would they want their name on the mortgage?
Right.
So our all-knowing president with infinite wisdom apparently wasn't able to think. I mean, that's common. And when I was refinancing my house, I came across a couple of things. A very, very, very minor insight to your world. So if it was that difficult and frustrating for me,
right,
just trying to get my house refinanced with a credit score over 900.
Right.
Okay, I mean, exactly. How high does it go? It's 900 and some, right?
I don't know. I thought it was 800. I've never seen a 900.
Well, that's right. It was 801, excuse me. It was 801 and like 805, and they said anything over like 750 is excellent. So I can just only imagine if it was that difficult for me.
620 above is A.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, it's excellent. But anything above 620 above is A.
Well, mine was like 801. So I can just only imagine how much more difficult it would be for you and for loan originators and banks and all these people having to do all this paperwork. I'm not trying to make excuses for the person that let this slip in your situation, but it probably doesn't help that they have 800 new laws to go by and all this paperwork and forms. I'm sure it's difficult.
Yes, but it is very, like I said, the challenge used to be getting them under contract. Now,
right.
Now once they're under contract, now it's even more of a challenge to get that done. But it's just half the battle, because the battle just in the beginning. Getting them closed is just...
Well, used to, if you had them under contract, unless someone just got cold feet, you pretty much thought it was a sure deal. Oh, sure,
not
sure.
Like this. This is just...
But now it really doesn't mean that much to have it under contract. Maybe they wanted to make it like marriage. So it just doesn't really mean that much to people? I don't know.
But I'm telling you, this loan originator, she doesn't drop her 1% loan origination fee.
Uh-huh.
And we don't do it, and these people are left alert because of her negligence and ignorance. I want to find out who it is, and I want to email blast every realtor in the triad and say, do not use this loan originator.
Right.
I know people make mistakes, and I know people are busy with the tax credit and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That was unforgivable.
Well, if you've got people already moved out and other people with the trucks packed ready to move in, that's going to make things very difficult.
The first thing when you get appraisal, the first thing you do is you look for the price that they're priced for.
Right.
And then you look at the purchase price, and you make sure that it's at least that amount.
Or higher. Sure.
Or higher. That, an idiot. I mean, everybody knows it has,
Right. I know that. I know nothing about the process.
Right. You know the bank will loan more money than the house is worth.
Right. And you also know,
But I also argue that house is definitely worth it. But now they've made it so hard to question an appraisal.
Well, I when I was trying to refinance my house, I questioned the appraisal because one not that long ago appraised for much higher, like $23,000 higher, and the guy was like, market this and comp that and blah blah blah. I was like, dude, I don't care that 3 houses over has, is appraised for $80,000 because the guy lost his job and took a hit and hasn't put a new roof. I said, that doesn't. I know that affects the neighborhood. Well, that's not me.
Right.
And then he was like, well, that's what this new Obama thing is for, people like you, but not. I found out. But it's like it's very frustrating. What it boils down to for everybody. Unnecessarily difficult, and
it's because you're too creditworthy. If you were like destitute,
right?
Then,
Well, my mother said something to me yesterday. This is completely off topic, but it's in the same vein what you're saying. How you're too creditworthy, and the destitute is the one that gets the advantage.
mm-hmm.
That's how our laws are. My mom has always said, and the older I get, the more I realize how right she is, that our laws protect the criminals. They don't protect the victim. They don't. They simply don't. Case in point, I was talking to her next door neighbor was asking me about handguns. Her husband is out of town for long periods of time. He's a welder. And she was asking me what kind of handgun would I recommend for a lady, past her mid-years, and that she could handle easily, but would also still be effective. And I told her, 22. I wouldn't go anything smaller than that.
Maybe even a revolver.
Right. And I told her revolvers are always best. No offense to our female listeners, but are always recommended for females that are unexperienced with guns, and also older people of either gender.
Well, it's easier for them to load, too.
Right. Easier to load, easier to handle, easier to shoot, less stuff to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I told her at 22, I said, it may not kill them. You could kill someone with 22. It may not kill them, but it would at least provide you some amount of defense. And I said, but, don't pay any attention to the laws. I said, because, the laws and recommendations and, what all these people recommend, you're supposed to have the gun in one room with a gun lock on it. You're supposed to have the ammunition in another room. And in yet a third location, you're supposed to have the magazine. So the magazine needs to be loaded. So what are you going to do if someone breaks into your home? Say, excuse me, Mr. Violent Criminal who's breaking into my home, will you let me put my gun together so I can defend myself? And my mom's like, that's crazy. And her neighbor she's like, well, that's absolutely crazy. My mom's like, see, the laws, protect the criminal.
Well, the other thing is, and see, I do have mine. I don't have everything separate. I do have them locked up. It would probably be hard for me to get to quick if somebody just keep the door in.
Right.
But I also have to take that extra level of security for, my daughter.
Right.
I don't want her stumbling upon it and young and not knowing better and doing something bad.
Right. Yeah, but I can make an argument with you on that you would have to agree because our grandparents did the same thing. Do your grandparents keep your grandpa keep his gun hidden?
My grandparents were dead by the time
Okay.
I was old enough. But my dad kept it locked up.
Oh, okay.
And as a kid, I was hunting young.
Mm-hmm.
I was shown the importance of guns and gun safety and blah, blah, blah. Doesn't mean that I didn't take the hinges off that thing and get into it when I wasn't supposed to and play with them.
My grandfather kept a loaded 12-gauge shotgun in the living room. It was just a single shot. And he kept a loaded single shot 22, which I now actually own, in his bedroom. That was a rifle. I can always remember that in the house, always, from as young as I could ever remember being. And I had a very clear understanding of the expectation of, what I was not supposed to do. And I never did actually touch it until he took me out and taught me how to shoot and then told me the rules around if I wanted to. I had to ask, and he said, yes, I could take it out, stuff like that. But I understand the need for safety. I do. But if I have the gun, the ammo, the magazine, in 3 separate locations, and the gun lock on, that is not providing me the defense that I purchased it for in the first place.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying the laws protect the criminals, and it's a little bit disconcerting. I do keep mine loaded, but it's in a safe. in a secure location.
I keep my magazines loaded. They're not actually in.
Oh, mine's in the gun.
I don't, because
mine's not chambered. It's not chambered, but it's in the gun because it's in a safe.
Right.
And now, if someone were to already be upstairs before I'm awake, that's different. But if the alarm went off, or if I heard someone kicking in the door, I have time to get to my safe, open it, and have the gun out.
Right.
Now, I choose not. Now, most people keep theirs chambered. I have coworkers to keep theirs chambered. I have a coworker. His gun is literally on his night table right beside of him when he sleeps at night. And he's not. In fact, he was on our show when we did our guns show, the Young Man Anger. That's how, and he told us on the show, if I remember correctly, that's how he keeps it, loaded at night. And he's not like, paranoid or anything like that. That's just what he chooses to do. I don't keep mine chambered because that's easy enough to do. Just a quick flick. But that's another thing that kind of, it's like you're saying. It's like I'm saying the gun laws protect the criminal, not the potential victims. And in a correlation to that, what got me on that rant was these new laws really impact the people who have good credit. The quote-unquote criminals, the ones with the bad credit, they flourish with it. And it's just very frustrating because it's like we're trying to punish people for success and reward for, apathy. And that's kind of the opposite of how it should be. Right? Doesn't do very much for morale. Which actually brings up a thought that kind of reminds me of the condition that the people were in medieval England, which brought to memory the fact that we went to see a movie this past weekend, Robin Hood, and because we tout movie reviews on this show, and because we haven't done one in a long time, including the me and Billy Ray or whatever the Hannah Montana movie was, you were supposed to give us a review on, and you did not. And I was more excited for that review than I have been for any.
Did I not do it?
No, you
didn't. I thought I did. I think I did.
I think you said it sucked not to go see it.
Well, I think you did. It was more than that.
No, you did not give us an actual full-fledged review on it.
Perhaps I didn't give it. I don't know. It wasn't quite as good as.
You said next week. Next week is coming on.
Sure.
So I thought maybe we could just give an on-the-fly tandem review for Robin Hood. No, just to discuss it.
Okay.
We can just discuss the movie.
Okay. And
that discussion would be our review of the movie.
Well, I will tell you. I'll start the discussion if you don't know.
I don't mind.
Going into it, I had a total different perception of what I was going to see.
Right.
This was more like a leading up, explaining where Robin Hood's background before he became
an outcast.
Yes. So it was kind of like the prequel before the.
Right, and that doesn't give away plot if you're going to go see it. I think that's a good expectation to have.
Right.
I didn't feel cheated.
No, I didn't either.
I
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I felt a little confused at the beginning because I was like, I thought this dude was an outcast, and he seems to be fitting right in.
Right.
But it was. It's basically it was a prequel to the Robin Hood that we all know the story of.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah. And
if it does well, I think it leaves it open for them to do a sequel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it was definitely set up to be for a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was the last? Didn't the words come up at the end like the legend begins or something?
Right. Yeah. It was like and thus Robin Troxler Longley or whatever becomes an outcast, and so the legend begins or something like that. So yeah, definitely set it up for a sequel. Doesn't mean they'll have one, but it's definitely set up for it.
I can promise you it will.
But I enjoyed it too.
Mm-hmm. I did.
It was a good movie.
It was worth the price of admission. I always rate my movies as either. Where's my scale? I don't have it in front of me. I would say it's either a
price of admission.
It's either full price admission, matinee, rental. Dollar movie.
Dollar or red box.
Mm-hmm. Dollar or red.
Because you have to take the rental out because kind of hardly rental anymore, right?
It would have to go rental and then red box.
Right.
But probably just go.
And then TV. Free on TV.
Or no, you could go. Maybe we should revive Vampire since there's not rentals. You should go full price admission, matinee,
right?
DVD.
Of whatever choice you decide, whatever media. Okay, yeah.
Okay. And then you could go to network TV.
Just catch it on TV.
Catch it on TV, or just not at all.
Or just stab yourself with the
run away.
Right. Run away. Which reminds me, in my opinion, and your opinion as well, there seem to be a few, not blatant, but there seem to be a few shout-outs to Holy Grail.
Yes.
In there. I would say, in fact, there was a line in there where they said "run away."
Yes.
There was another one where a guy was on his knees with his back to them and said, "None shall pass."
Right.
And then asked him a riddle. And then there was one where now this may not be at all, but to me it was when Robin shot Godfrey and it nicked his face.
Right.
And they were like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." To me, it was like, I bet it was a flesh wound, you know. And now that's a reach, but for me, the first thing I said, "You hurt me." I was like, "It's a flesh wound." So, and there were a few others that I'm not remembering. There were a few things in there, I think, where they were maybe giving a little homage.
Right. The ones you mentioned were the ones I thought of. But I also subconsciously, like you said, with the flesh wound,
right,
thought of that one. There was another one when somebody got shot by an arrow.
Right.
It made me think, message for you.
No. That was one. Remember, and it's not, he wasn't shot.
Right.
But there was when he got shot, you're right. But remember, they were in the castle, and I forget exactly the point. No. He was in the guy who was pretending that it was his father, Walter.
Uh-huh.
He was in there talking. Russell Crowe was in there talking to him, and the servant comes in and says, "Message for you, sir." When somebody was outside looking for him.
Right.
So that line was actually in there. It was "Message for you, sir." So yeah, I mean, that couldn't be coincidence. It really couldn't be. I thought it was. I like Russell Crowe. I really do.
When they said your mother smelt of elderberry. Just kidding. English people.
And there was the part where he called it out. Taunt you a second time. Well, there was English and French,
yeah. And
the French were, they didn't like each other.
No. Banging of coconuts, no.
and there was they called him Sir Robin the Brave.
Yes.
That can't be coincidence. I immediately started singing the song. Yeah. So but
bravely ran away.
Tucked his tail. Oh. This movie is so much more fun to talk about than actually watch.
Perhaps this week we should just have the similarities.
Yes.
Of that movie and we probably already touched on it.
Yeah. It was good though. I enjoyed it. I felt. Yeah, I also agreed that I did not feel robbed having paid full price for admission. So that was good. And we had a good meal before. Mm-hmm. Was it good? It was your first time going to the Metal Mushroom. We'll give him a free plug. Was it not?
Oh my goodness.
Like I said at the table.
And I've talked to several people since, and they've all been there too. So I feel like I'm introducing anybody to something. How long has it been there? Of course, I've heard of it before.
Hey, Lauren? Yeah. How long has the Metal Mushroom been there? About a year? Yeah.
Is that it?
Right around a year.
I don't feel so bad.
Maybe not quite a year. No, I've been to the Metal Mushroom and Blowing Rock and Boone. Multiple times. It has become one. Okay. Yeah, it was. The first time I ever went was in Blowing Rock. It's just off Main Street, I think, on Sunset. Neat little place. 2 stories. You can eat outside on the second story on the deck. It's on a nice late spring or late summer, early fall evening. It's quite a nice treat if the weather's nice. Lauren is saying we can go to Melmeasure tonight for dinner. But I recommend it.
I heard that the hummus there is really good. I'm not a big hummus fan.
Hummus.
Hummus, ma'am. Hummus.
Listen to how the hillbilly says it.
When you said me talking about hillbillies, there's something about
lobster tail and beer. And Bo said, it's my favorite thing.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, that was good. You know, a lot of people wouldn't agree with this, and when people are real adamant about pizza, I don't even discuss it with them because they'll, for whatever reason, get offended by it. But I truly believe it's really hard to mess up pizza.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, if you use good ingredients, it's hard to mess it up. However, when it's done really well, it's really good. Yeah. And that's how, melon mushroom, regardless of what kind you get there, is always good every time I've got. But the one that we get, I forget, it's called Meat Feast or Mediterranean or whatever. What is it? It's Mighty Meaty. It's got the Mighty Meaty. It's got hamburger, Italian sausage, Canadian ham, bacon, and pepperoni. And, you know, the bacon's listed last. So if they haven't got you with the first 5 meats, when they get to bacon, I mean, unless something is wrong with your mental capacity, it is very good pizza.
Maybe we should make a bacon weave pizza.
Dough, bacon weave.
No. Just bacon weave. The thing with a layer of cheese, they're like seal the ingredients in, so they don't seeping through the bacon.
All right, and then your toppings, and then more cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could do the bacon weave and some mozzarella.
Uh-huh.
And then I like onion.
Okay.
I like onion. A little onion, maybe some bell pepper.
And sausage.
Well, I'm just getting the vegetables out of the way. Onion and bell pepper, and then that's it.
Okay.
And then some Italian sausage.
I don't like bell pepper.
No, okay. Well, onion's okay? Okay, onion.
Okay.
Yeah, ground Italian sausage, ground beef, some ham.
Right.
It's not my favorite, but I like ham on there. Yeah.
Maybe some bacon.
Yeah. And then another layer of mozzarella.
Yeah.
And then bake.
Oh, we got to put the sauce in there too.
Oh yeah, a little bit. We don't want to go overboard with the fruits and vegetables.
There's some tomato sauce.
Yeah, a little bit of tomato sauce. Some minced garlic. I think that would be a recipe for stench.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There is. I don't see nothing wrong.
It might be messy to eat.
It would be probably, you'd have to let it cool off some, because the hot bacon, that would, I'm hungry.
We definitely want that bacon would be crispy.
Oh, yes. Crispy.
Crispy bacon.
You probably have to eat that with a fork. I don't think you can pick it up and eat it. I wonder if we should try this.
We definitely should. I think it's genius.
Bacon weave pizza. If we do that, we have to get good pictures.
Yes.
And post online.
Have we ever got our pictures from Jerry?
No.
You think he's selling them to somebody else?
I think he opened baconweave.com. He's making money off our art.
That's what it is.
It's
edible art.
Edible art, yes. We might need to get a food permit, just like the lingerie store. For edible art. I really do. You know, my stepdaughter is a finicky eater. It's not unusual. Most kids are. But she loves bacon. So I know she's okay. Yeah. And she loves chocolate. But here's the thing. Trying to get her to eat her meat, I've never seen a kid that eats this much fruits and vegetables and variety of fruits and vegetables.
That's good.
Without fussing about it.
But how can she have any pudding if she doesn't eat her meat?
Right, exactly. But it's so hard to get her to eat meat. But you give her a piece of bacon, and it's gone in about 20 seconds.
Right.
I mean, she will throw down the bacon. And I think that's pretty awesome.
Megan's the same way.
You know,
I worry about her because she doesn't like applesauce. Or,
she doesn't like ground beef.
She doesn't like steak.
Steak.
You know, I thought the girl was mentally, not all the way there. Like the elevator wasn't reaching the top floor, but
she redeemed herself.
She loves bacon.
Yeah.
I wish if there was something she didn't like, it would be that. So it'd be more for me.
Right.
But that's not how it worked out.
But at least she knows she's okay because she likes bacon.
That's right.
Okay.
Speaking of bacon, I do have a story.
All right, one second. I have to reminisce.
Okay.
I'll let you go to your story about my maternal grandfather.
Okay.
Who passed away in '84. But he fried his bacon down at breakfast, took the bacon out, and then cracked his eggs into the bacon grease, and took his spatula to flat hot bacon grease on top of the egg, and then that's how he fried his egg. I missed that.
So it skips a generation.
Yeah. And so you took the egg out, and it was just, it was literally, it cooked, not from the heat of touching the pan, but from floating in bacon grease. Oh, I missed that.
That sounds.
It was beautiful. It was. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I think the story, it's not even a good news story. We'll have to come back to our good news story.
Okay.
We're going to have to, stray from our normal format here. Because it had Cold Stone and bacon in it.
Well, there you go.
I figured you had to hear it.
I don't know how this could be a good news story unless the Cold Stone burned down and they ran out of bacon.
I wouldn't say it's bad. 2,000 calorie milkshake tops list of worst drinks.
Sounds like a good drink.
A milkshake containing 2,010 calories, the equivalent to eating 68 strips of bacon.
Oh.
Or 30 chocolate chip cookies, and top the list of 20 worst drinks in America compiled by Men's Health magazine. The Cold Stone PB&C milkshake, made with peanut butter, chocolate ice cream, and milk, contains 68 grams of saturated fat.
Yum.
And 153 grams of sugar, according to the Nutritional Details on the company's website. In terms of saturated fat, drinking this Cold Stone catastrophe is like slurping up 68 strips of bacon. Wouldn't that be wonderful? You really slurp up.
It would be. It would be.
Eat bacon with a straw.
Bacon smoothie. PVC and B. Because peanut butter bacon.
B, double B and C. No.
That sounds wonderful.
The second worst drink in America was listed as the Peanut Power Plus Grape from Smoothie King, with a large cup packing 1,498 calories. The same amount of sugar as 20 Reese's peanut butter cups. The McDonald's large triple thick chocolate shake came in third.
Wow.
With 1,160 calories, or the equivalent of 13 of the fast food chain's hot apple pies.
I'd rather have this milkshake than a 13 apple pie. Absolutely.
A spokesman from the Cold Stone Creamery pointed out that the company does offer low-calorie, reduced-fat options for customers looking for a lighter indulgence, such as a range of sinless smoothies with only 110 calories.
Oh, sounds reasonable.
There you go.
That sounds like a good story. It has given me some ideas.
There you go.
63 strips or 68?
68.
I will be honest, as much as I love bacon, I could not eat 68 pieces of bacon at one time.
I don't know. I'd rather have 68 pieces of bacon than one milkshake.
Oh, absolutely. Let's think about this. For all the people out there that are so against saturated fat, for men, go read online or ask your endocrinologist about it. Saturated fat is necessary. Your body uses it to make cholesterol. And your body uses cholesterol to make testosterone.
Do you ever BA in bacon?
I do. I do. This is a fact. So trying to cut back on fat is a good thing, but you don't want to cut out all saturated fat because then you become a sissy. Basically, is what it boils down to. I mean, you don't want to be a sissy. No. So the point is, the reason why I always tell people, I try to eat healthy. Now, since I've been a cripple, I've not been really trying. But I try to eat healthy. And if I'm going to get saturated fat, I'm at least going to get it from a source I like, which is bacon. or like a ribeye or a fatty cut of beef, versus sources that I really wouldn't enjoy as much as I would them. So,
speaking of our birthday friend David,
mm-hmm.
he was telling me today, and I wish I could remember what all he said he bought. Did he tell you what meat he's bringing?
I know he must have said when we were at supper Saturday night, Boston Butt about 30 times, so I'm thinking of Boston Butt.
He bought a sirloin that he's going to cook over a spit,
mm-hmm.
over a rotisserie over the open fire.
Mm-hmm.
That might one-up us on cooking over the fire.
That's only because I'm not there for us to go tandem again.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to that
mm-hmm.
contraption. I think he's got 15 steaks.
Mm-hmm. There's no need for you to bring anything.
That's what I told him. I said, "Do you really need to bring anything, or can I just pay you for what you got? You just pay me." Because I think at one point Andrew was bringing a friend, and he's not. I don't know if Luke's bringing a friend or not.
Right.
So, girls won't eat anything.
No.
So I'm not bringing.
No, there's really
much. I want to bring some hot dogs for the girls, but the amount of meat that he has, he said 4 pounds of bacon, 5 pounds of ground beef.
4 pounds of bacon. Sounds like you guys are going to have a party.
The only thing I'm going to contribute is I'm going to buy a lot of the turkey sausages
mm-hmm.
for breakfast.
Yes, well,
that's my staple up there. I love those things.
Those, I tried turkey bacon many years ago, 2000, 2001, and it was so gross to me that I threw away what was cooked and what was not cooked.
And
just took the loss. Jane at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dog did not get it. So at that point, I'd written off turkey everything. Fast forward, to about 2004, 2005, someone told me about this turkey pepperoni. I was like, no. I finally got it, and it's awesome. It tastes, for me, it's just as good as regular pepperoni, and you have to.
I almost prefer it.
Yeah, and you have to eat 16 of them for 1 gram of fat. 16. And so this turkey sausage, if I had been anti-turkey, I would have missed out because those things are amazing. I like to get them a little brown and crispy. Mm-hmm. Oh, over the hot fire. And for breakfast I have 5 or 6 of those. One of my kashi bars and an apple.
I think they're way overpriced.
They are.
I think they're $4 for 8 or something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Or 6 or 8 or 12 maybe.
Anytime you have something that's quote unquote healthy, they always charge more.
$4 for 12.
They are. I actually prefer them to wing sausage. I really truly do. They are that good. The texture is awesome. Oh man, you guys are going to have fun. I'm missing out. So he got the entire sirloin because my personal. I like ribeye. Don't get me wrong. I love prime rib, but my absolute favorite cut of meat is a strip sirloin, New York strip. Mm-hmm. So he's got the whole sirloin. He's got the entire sirloin roast, which, wow.
Ribeye's a little more fatty, right?
Yes.
I prefer the ribeye.
No, I like ribeye. I do. I'm just telling, and I like the taste. I'm just saying for the taste, like if you give me a cut of sirloin steak, whether it's called a sirloin, whether it's a New York strip, anything from that section of the cow, taste-wise, is my personal favorite. I'm not going to turn down the ribeye, right? Especially if it's Del Monaco. I'm not going to turn down, anything like that. And I don't care for filet. And everybody, most everybody, that's their favorite because for me, it's too lean.
Right.
I know it's not. I wouldn't turn it down, but it's not my favorite. You guys you have an entire sirloin roast that you're going to cook over the open fire on a spit. Wow. And 5 pounds, are you going to bring any bacon? Additional? Because 4 pounds may not be enough.
Yeah, really, I was thinking I might not be.
I mean,
it sounds like a lot.
It's really not. If they're going to do a commune breakfast like they usually do, the amount of people that are going, 1 pound isn't enough. Yeah. You would need to do 2 pounds right there.
Right.
Well, we for the past 2 bacon weeks, we've done 2 pounds.
Can you tell you how I buy my bacon now? Have I told you this?
Yeah, cooked,
pre-cooked. You go to the breakfast bar.
Public service announcement right here. Okay.
Go to the breakfast bar at the Taj Mahal, the Harris Teeter. For $5.99 a pound,
mm-hmm.
You get your eggs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All I get is bacon. It's I cram as much bacon as I can fit inside that plastic thing, and sometimes I get 2 of them.
Right.
And you get a pound of pre-cooked bacon for $5.99.
Right.
That's a lot of bacon.
Yes, it is. Because it shrivels up so much, minus all the grease and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the way to do it.
Man,
and it stays good for a long time because it's pre-cooked and it's.
You put it in the fridge.
In the refrigerator. I use it on salads. I use it on everything.
But you don't even need anything to use it on.
No, you don't.
You can just use it on your hand.
You can have it for breakfast. You can have it for lunch, and you can have it for dinner.
A snack.
A snack.
Appetizer. Dessert.
An after lunch snack.
Oh, it reminds me in Lord of the Rings.
A midnight snack.
Midnight snack, yes. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're hungry, bacon.
Bacon.
In Lord of the Rings,
it's an air freshener for your refrigerator. You open the refrigerator, you're hit with a smell of bacon. You want to make your kitchen smell good?
Prop your door open. And it cools it off at the same time while you're cooking.
Good stuff.
In Lord of the Rings, where they're trying to leave the Shire, and he wants to stop and eat, he's like, we've already had breakfast, and the line, I can't remember the exact line, but he goes something like, he doesn't know about second breakfast and lunch and second lunch and onesies and twosies. I love that line. It's like, that's me. Because, that's the reason why me and my coworkers, before I went to work from home, why we started going to lunch at 11. Because
you're saying breakfast?
I would eat lunch. I would eat breakfast at like 7:30 at the time because I got up earlier than to do now to go in. By the time 12 rolled around, I was so hungry I was angry. Bacon is a good thing. I don't think I want to go with that story right there. I want to talk about some homeless folk.
All right. I got one good news story.
Well, go ahead and share it with us.
You want to start with the homeless?
Yeah. No,
I'll start with the homeless, and then I'll go with another one.
Well, the homeless one, I'm just going to read it's a video, so I'm just going to read.
Okay.
It says, let's see, they're a running club. There's a running club. It's called the Members of Back on My Feet, Homeless and Living in Shelters. That's all I can tell you about it, because it's a video. Anyhow, it's a running club for homeless folk, but not homeless, and I'm not trying to be mean here, not homeless like most people think of homeless, like transients and vagabonds, like people
are washing their backside at the
monument. Right. Well, we're talking about people that have because of maybe husband and wife, Obama's plans, and husband and wife losing their job, losing their home, and now resorted to living on the street, like the homeless empire that I had on the show a couple weeks ago in New Jersey.
Like the buyer tomorrow.
Exactly.
Like my seller's practically.
Exactly. People like that who are, and I'm not saying that the stereotypical homeless person couldn't get back on their feet. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying these are not, drunks or drug addicts or mentally impaired. These are, people that were working and, just bad fortune has hit.
Right.
So, they're finding ways, like that homeless city up in Trenton, New Jersey. 1,000 people were there. They had a mayor.
Wow.
They had rules nailed to the trees.
Wow.
And they said they had like a 0% crime rate. They had like no thefts. It was very organized, and it was like, these are the rules. If you don't like it, you can go live in other woods. But there, with 1,000 people, they have people, bringing in food, water. They have a lot more resources to add to the community pot. So I think that's what this is people that are going out and running, and I think maybe networking and finding ways to get plugged back into working. So that's good for them.
That is good. Of course, I had a vision of a bunch of homeless men, like an army of running homeless men charging towards you. And people throw $1 and try to get away. To slow them down. I'm sorry, I'm taking a bad story. A good story. Bad place. Here's a good story I had. $20,000 found hidden in estate sale furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Happened in Richland, Washington. A worker at a furniture liquidation business found bundles of cash hidden in the back of an armoire. The owners of the company, Liz and Mark Thompson of ET Estate Sales and Liquidation, traced the furniture to an estate sale who were able to return $20,000 to the family of the owner.
That's a story of honesty.
It is. Actually, I mean, it's honestly, it's kind of going above and beyond. If they bought it, it should have been theirs.
Right, technically it was, yes.
Tri-City Herald reports the money belonged to Ron Davidson's sister, a 78-year-old widow, and that didn't want a name. She lost her husband to cancer in February and moved into an assisted living home in the Tri-Cities. And she says that her medical bills and stress and the cash was a blessing because of her medical bills and the stress from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she said that her husband stashed the money years ago because he distrusted the banking system. So.
Here's a story about, I just want to read the headline.
Okay.
Loving 5-year reunion of man and gorilla. I don't know if that's legal in America, so I'm not sure what's going on here.
Was his name Tarzan?
So we are
speaking of gorillas, did you hear? I don't have the story with me, but the lady who owned what was the name of that show? That bit the face off.
Travis.
The woman who owned Travis died.
Oh yeah, I did not know that. No, we'll get this follow up.
Just this week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
she's gone. She's off to meet Travis.
Seeing Travis in heaven.
I don't know if Travis went to heaven.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure he could.
He was such a good chef. I think mentally.
You think maybe it was dementia?
I think it was dementia.
He was. I mean, he was what, 17 or 18?
For people with dementia.
Yeah, there are.
And apes.
Right.
Gorillas and chimps. Maybe not gorillas, but chimps. I think there's a place where demented chimps would heaven. In my heaven, there is.
Demented or dimension?
Well, yes. I think there's a place in my heaven for chimps. That,
my Jesus wears a T-shirt that has a tuxedo on the front.
My 8 pounds. 8 ounce baby Jesus.
And your golden fleece diapers. Oh, my cheeks are cramping. So,
speaking of someone close to heaven. Sounds like your next good news story.
Well, you caught me off guard for that one. There's a good segue. There was a bit more pomp and considerably more circumstance than usual at the Falkville High School graduation ceremonies Monday night. Marching alongside the fresh-faced Alabama seniors ready to take their way into the world was 95-year-old Earlene Harvey Morris, whose own dreams of a diploma were snatched away from her 77 years ago. This is something I never thought would happen, she says, class of 2010. They adopted her and made her an honorary class member. Her fellow graduates were making amends to a woman affected by the Great Depression of the 30s. Faced with an insurmountable budget crunch, Falkville High School was shuttered just months before she was scheduled to graduate in May of 1933. So she was going to graduate. It's not like they just gave her one without the work. She had done the work.
She wasn't a dropout.
No, she wasn't a dropout. The school was a dropout.
School dropped out.
So here's someone, she got her diploma maybe in the nick of time. She definitely looks 95.
She's going to be hearing that diploma right through the pearly gates. Let's see here. I got it. This is not a good news story, but I thought it was one that we should include.
Well, I'm done with good news.
Okay. I thought it was funny. Colorado psychic arrested for telling clients that their money was possessed by evil spirits. Nancy Marks, a psychic from Lafayette, Colorado, was arrested for fraud after telling her clients money was evil and that she'd take their cursed cash so that the money would suffer instead. This is what I got. Marks made at least $290,000 using this scam.
We're in the wrong business.
$290,000. I don't know how many people.
Those people are ignorant.
Oh my gosh. Marks, who runs a psychic reading business creatively named Psychic Reading, warned that malicious spirits were haunting their bank account and that she would take the evil assets off their hands. Her scam would have continued had a whistleblower named Linda not contacted police.
I don't know how that's necessarily illegal if she's not coercing them or threatening them and they're willingly giving it over.
And if the money was evil. Possessed by evil spirits.
I think she was doing a service.
A good service.
I rarely watch South Park. I just know a few one-lines here and there from it.
Right.
But I saw one time, wait a second, Lauren. We got 4 minutes left. Lauren wants to know, so are we going to the Mellow Mushroom?
No.
I remember this one thing when they were, Trey and Matt make fun of everybody, literally everyone. And no one is safe on that show. And apparently they were making fun of these, animal rights activists. And they had they were at a chicken factory with a bunch of chickens, and there was like a saw going by and just like cut them all off at one time. Mm-hmm. I thought of that scene when I wrote this story. Alaska State Troopers are puzzled by a gruesome discovery in the city of North Pole. 26 headless chickens carefully arranged at a coop. Police say the fly-infested carcasses found Monday were arranged in a circular pattern, but there was no sign of the missing heads. Maybe some of that money had gone up to North Pole. 3 chickens were left unharmed, and there were no damage to the coop.
Makes me think of a satanic Santa.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, not satanic Santa.
Yes.
At the North Pole.
The trooper spokeswoman says they have no idea what the thought process was. There's a possibility the killings were intended as a threat. Those responsible could be charged with felony criminal mischief. However, that's kind of odd if you came up and there was 26 headless chickens, but no, the heads were nowhere around. That's just kind of weird. And to go ahead and here towards
first the chicken in the head.
This is too long. We don't have enough time. I just wanted to read this. That there was a Phillies game where things got a little bit out of order. 21-year-old New Jersey man pleaded guilty Tuesday to vomiting on another spectator and his 11-year-old daughter in the stands during a Phillies game.
Man admits to vomit assault.
Matthew Clemens of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, pleaded guilty to 1 count each of simple assault, disorderly conduct, and harassment for his conduct during the April 14th game. He stuck his fingers down his throat and vomited on Michael Vangelo, who happened to be an off-duty police captain, and one of the officer's daughters. He was immediately ejected from the park. I don't know why. Apparently,
it would have been great if, it had created a scene of spontaneous vomiting.
Clemens and his friend were spilling beer, cursing, and heckling the officer and his daughters. From the time they arrived to their seats, the 15-year-old daughter asked the pair to stop the profanity. The officer complained to security that he was spitting, and some of it hit his 11-year-old daughter. After the friend was ejected, Clemens was sitting along when he answered his cell phone. "I need to do what I need to do. I'm going to get sick." That's when he put his fingers down his throat and threw up on the father with some of the vomit splashing onto the younger daughter. He then punched the father several times in the head before other fans subdued him. So he vomited on a police officer and then punched him in the head.
I'm going to listen to a police officer. If he's not standing up for himself and his kid, he's going to get the ushers.
This guy is the real victim.
That's what I'm
the vomiter. The real victim here. Okay, we're out of time. See you guys next week.
This has been Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of CNE. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, and we would like to thank you for listening to our show today. Don't forget to tune in for next week's show live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we are every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.